Alright, what are we looking at today? Oh my god, yes, Morgana. I fucking love Morgana jungle. Oh my god, I haven't got to coach this yet. This is awesome. Alright, I'm actually a Morgana jungle expert. This is gonna be awesome. What did you feel? How'd you feel with this game? Why do you remember? Oh, you're doing fuck this Narnia bullshit. Anyways, um, why'd you submit this game?
Um, so because of this failed invade,
Mm.
I saw. So yeah, just to know how to
Had to
do this
had to
better, and
had to recover from this position.
yeah, and how to recover. And the second is, I was like not synced with my team. Like I
Mm,
want to do some things, I ping. They
mm,
do completely different thing.
mm.
Um, then I followed their call, and it like went disastrous. And also last fight on the Baron, I would like to know how to better play it.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, well, to start with, I will not tell you how to do this better because I personally do not recommend doing Narnia. I think this is um not a good decision. I know Carrier has popularized it. I think it's really terrible. People should not do this. It's cheesy. You don't improve. You don't actually improve how to play League by doing this. All you're doing is cheesing and hoping to God that the enemies are worse than you. I don't think this is actually good for improving. If you just want to win and you don't care how to win, how you're winning, then sure. But I don't actually recommend people to do this. Second of all, if you are going to do this, you should only be doing this on strong early game junglers, junglers that can what's the word? Junglers that can beat the enemies, right? Like win 1v1. Morgana, obviously, out of all the junglers in the game, I actually play Morgana. I'm a Morgana fan. Morgana is a fucking vegan. She full clears and then full clears and then full clears and then she shows up to a fight with Leandries or Blackfire and then if she lands Q, they're dead, right? Morgana is not some early game skirmisher Omega fighter, right? Morgana's dream scenario, like fucking the best, her best life in the world is to get 6 camps down and not get invaded and no lanes die. If that happens, Morgana's happy. No one dies, no one gets invaded, we just get our full clear. Once we base and we buy like Dark Seal and Amtone, then if you want to fight 2v2, it's not terrible because obviously by then you have level 4 and unironically, even a level 4 Morgana landing Q does like fucking 500 damage, right? So I would just not recommend doing this at all. I know also like the entire point of the Narnia is to invade them on their Gromp, and in this case you see him starting Raptors. Um, so in this case he's not even like doing the Gromp start. I guess in your logic you probably saw him be like, oh he's doing Raptors to Krugs, so I could just take his top side because he's pathing down. But again you just don't have super. There's nothing. That's it. It's impossible for you to have to ward his Raptors and as sweeper. But the thing is, you need both of these things to invade because you need to see where he starts, which is the point of the Raptor ward, and you need sweeper to make sure that he didn't ward his jungle because it looks like from the reaction that they 100% just warded blue buff, and then they saw you on blue buff, and then Belva was walking to Krugs, and as she's walking to Krugs, she sees you running to blue. Maybe there's a ward like right here, and then she just started running back. She says, "Why would I let Morgana take my blue buff? Morgana is super weak level 2 champion. I'm Bel'Veth. Bel'Veth's actually one of the strongest level 2 jungle champs in the entire game." So I think A, if you're gonna do this, you need sweeper. B, you should only do this on really good early game junglers that like to fight a lot, like Elise, Bel'Veth, Jarvan, Kindred, Graves, stuff like that, right? Um, Make sense?
Yeah, the word was in this bush where I stay.
Hmm.
The thing is, as you say, like Morgan is not considered early game,
Hmm.
so I could not predict that someone would think that I would
Yeah,
invade.
makes sense. I agree with you. I actually think in like a if you're in a challenger lobby, this would probably never be rewarded because challenger players actually think about matchups. But in whatever elo you're playing in, this guy probably just wards his blue every game without even like thinking. Like his brain's probably off. Because I actually agree with you. Like if I was against you, I wouldn't ward blue because what Morgana would have invaded me. So like I see your the logic makes sense, but it's just solo queue, you know. So yeah,
Right, right.
anytime we get behind early game, number one goal is just to stabilize. Means same as I said earlier. Now is just the plan is just to full clear, make sure you don't get invaded, play as safe as possible. It's knowing that I'm behind. You're actually not that behind because he skipped all his camps to come with you. But it is knowing that okay, I am obviously slightly behind my opponent. So now it's time to just full clear. This is bad. Even if you kill this guy right now, I have no idea if you do or don't. This that the it's not about when you're looking at how to improve your at League, you don't look at the results of the plays. You don't look at, oh my god, I died here, so this might have been bad. Even if you took his blue Gromp, I would have told you this was bad. Even if the result went well, it's always about the intention. Why you're going for a play? Is the play in itself good, right? This even if you got blue Gromp Wolves and he didn't notice, I would say this is a bad invade, right? Um, Same reason how even if this gank works, I would say this is a bad gank because again, our job in early game is to stabilize to just kill all 40 camps. Because think about it this way: let's say you send this push for 20 seconds and Veigar never walks up and you never get a kill, and then you go back to your full clear, right? This entire time, Bel'Veth's clearing her jungle. Bel'Veth is stronger than you 1v1, obviously, and you have no flash. So this guy is gonna do wolves, raptors, reds, krugs, bot crab. You know he's doing bot crab as well because you took the top crab. Right now, this guy's probably finishing up his red buff right now or his like krugs, and he's gonna walk into river. And in 20 seconds from now, when you start walking into you're gonna do raptors. In 30 seconds from now, you're gonna be on your wolves. And while that's happening, he already took one of your bot camps, or he's gonna be sitting in this bush waiting for you, and you're gonna die. And now, if you start the game 0-2, your jungle's over. That's why the only goal is to get our full clear down without dying. Boom. We need this takes speed. We need to do this before she's done with her full clear, because the longer we wait, the more time we're giving her to be farming, and then she'll be faster than us on the map. Make sense? And I think a lot of times the way I like to say this, when it comes to ganking, I'm not a boring jungler that who said or a coach that says full clear, never gank. I think ganking is important. The way I always say to people is this is directly the middle of the lane. You see this? This is so I always like to say there's a line across the middle of the map, right, that goes directly through every lane. And I always say two things. Yes, I prefer people to just full clear, but if a laner, this is a laner, is past this line, this is called pushing, um, low, so imagine a universe where now Veigar's right here, and he's 50% HP, sure, please skip all 4 camps to gank him. I won't even argue, I won't say it's bad, because this means anytime someone's past this line and they're low, it's probably like a 70% chance gank, right? Anything below 70% chance gank, I don't want to go for this. If it's a 50% chance the gank works, it's a bad gank. You should only go for ganks that are 60%, 70%, 80%. The only time you should go for 50% chance ganks is when the scoreboard is 1 to 10 and the game is over and you need to like wish on a star that a gank works because the game is so behind, right? The game right now is still chill, right? So I'd say only go for 80% ganks. 80% is when this guy's super pushing and low. In this case, this guy is not pushing and he's full HP. So, and Diana has no CC. Maybe if this Diana's playing Galio, this is him being this is still fine because Galio will E forward, flash, W, into Morgana Q, right? But in this case, this guy has no CC. Your only CC is basically unhittable because he's so far and he's in a minion wave. So TLDR, just farm. Make sense?
Yep.
Because yeah, we do this, and now we see Bel'Veth. And you see now Bel'Veth walking for bot crab.
I think I just
Yeah,
looked at the lane just because I was nearby and
yeah,
like didn't actually want to gank.
yeah. I get it. I just think about how many times you play jungle. How long you been playing jungle?
Since the beginning of this year. Before that, I played mid.
Okay. So in the last year, how many times have you went to gank a lane, and you're like, "Fuck! If I was there 3 seconds earlier, I would have saved him or got a kill." Like it's like always like 3 seconds, 2 seconds. You're barely not there in time, right? Has it happened a lot? If you
Mm,
if you think you
not
remember,
really.
Bank.
I don't know.
Okay, I'll show you an example of this game because that happens twice a game every game. So maybe you haven't realized, but so many times people like barely show up to lanes and like if they were at a lane like 2 seconds faster, they would get a kill, and then those 3 seconds are when we waste time doing nothing. Um, but anyways, I'll keep playing. Go, go back to our full clear.
This was a bit risky because I didn't have the item, but like
Yeah,
level 5 is okay.
yeah, it is a bit. I think I mean, if you want to take the risk, I think it's not terrible. No, if you're, I don't know if you're thinking about it, but technically it's not terrible because Bella should be basing and running to her Gromp because that's her respawning Gamp, so she should be topside right now. I would say this is no, I take it back. This is really bad to do because you even let's say even if you get this dragon, okay, because right now Bella should be on her Gromp, right? Because let's see, look, we see. I'll tell you why. Because we see Belveth on like she just finished Raptors. She did Raptors to Scuttle, and then after Scuttle, she walks into bot jungle. So now she's probably walking. Now she's gonna walk to her Krugs. So she's gonna do Krugs. She's gonna base, and she's gonna go open the Gromp. Okay. So let's track it out. So she's on Krugs now. She just finished her Krugs. She just based. She's walking into her Gromp now. She just killed her Gromp. She's now starting her Wolves. Actually, maybe this is a bit slower. Maybe now she's just starting killing her Wolves, right? Now she's walking to her Raptors. She just killed her now she just killed her Raptors. And now she just got a notification that we're gonna Slain Dragon. You know what she does? So as she's walking to top grab, she gets notification that you kill Dragon, and she just goes and takes Raptors and Krugs, and jungle is over. While you've done Dragon the last 40 seconds, she'll take your entire top side because you're gonna base here, and by the time you get there, they're already gone. There's no way you're strong enough to, and there's nothing to invade because she's already killed her camps. There's no way you're killing her. There's no way you're fighting her on crab because she's gonna be level 6. You're gonna be level 5, and you're gonna be down 1 to 2 levels, right? I think that's why my perfect world here. If you actually want to do dragon, I don't think dragon's bad to do, but it's not. I think it's just rush. Well, instead of doing blue wolves gromp, you're gonna do blue gromp wolves clear up then base. You're gonna buy this with 300 gold. You're gonna have 1400 gold. It's pretty strong. You could either go Faded Ashes plus Samtone or Faded Ashes plus Darksteel, or you could just buy Haunting Guys. Then you'll do Krugs, Raptors, then Dragon. So you're gonna do boom, and then you're gonna clear down towards the Dragon. Because I think Dragon's fine to do. You obviously have winning bot lane, but as you said, without the items, it's really slow. And more importantly, it's always anytime we do like a bot play, which is Dragon, gank, whatever, we always want to clear our top camps beforehand. Because normally if the way jungle works is you see jungle bot, you take his top side. In this case, if you saw Bel'Veth's getting top right now, you would go and take his red and Krugs if they were up, you know. So anytime if you show yourself top, he's gonna go and check your Wolf's Gromp. So anytime we do a play on the opposite side of the map, we do a top play, we want to make sure our bot camps have been taken, so he can't trade into them. If we're gonna do a dragon, we want to make sure our Krugs and Raptors are dead, so we can't trade them. So funny enough, if you actually wanted to skip your blue and start dragon right now, this would technically be more like a better. I don't think this is good to pull here, but let's say if you wanted to do dragon, it would technically be better to do dragon right now than it is to do it 30 seconds from now. Because if you do it right now, he can't take your Raptors. He might take your Krugs, but that's only one camp's not that bad. It's really bad if people take 2 of your camps. So honestly, if you pulled it right now, then it wouldn't be as terrible. But pulling it 40 seconds from now, when your Raptors and Krugs are up, now this goes into territory of being really bad. Because if this guy takes your entire top side, you will be down a full level. Because it's not just 2 camps, it's 4 camps. Because it's 2 less for you, right? Does this make sense? So it's a good habit. Anytime you want to do a play on this side of the map or this side of the map, you want to take that the opposite side camps. If you're gonna do a top play, take your bot camps first. If you want to do a bot play, take your top camps first. Okay.
Alright, so two camps for dragon would be a bit, right? You mean?
Yes, 4 camps for dragon is yes game losing. If you're playing a champion that does not care about farmer gold like Sejuani or like some tank, then sure. You're playing an AP carry, a champ that needs to have items, needs to have XP. Yes, a quadrant because this is not just you have to understand this will snowball. Jungle is a domino effect, especially because you're versus a invading jungle because it's not just 2 camps. It's a really bad way to think about it. First of all, again, as I said, it's 4 camps, A. And B, 4 camps is a full level in jungle. It's also obviously 400 gold. And now he has the respawn timers on them because he killed them. And he's going to do Raptors Krugs, base. Then he's going to open to his Krugs. He's going to do Krugs, Raptors, Wolves, Gromp. And then by the time he finishes Gromp, your Raptors will respawn and he'll just invade your Raptors. And even though you're there, it won't matter because he'll be a guaranteed level up on you and he'll have guaranteed item on you. So then it's not just this cycle. If you let someone get a lead on you and you let them get the respawn of your camps, a good player will always just keep reinvading them, right? And so losing them once, if you're against me, you're losing them for the next 6 minutes. Every time they spawn, they're gone. It's just happening, right? Because he knows since I took his camps and he farmed 2 less camps, again, that means he has a guaranteed XP lead. He's going to be guaranteed first to 6. He's going to have guaranteed first item. When you have your Leandre's components, like you'll have Haunting Guys plus Fade Ashes, he'll have full Kraken, so he'll have a item spike on you, and then it'll be the next camps. And now instead of it being minus 4 camps, it's going to be minus 8 camps. 8 camps is 2 levels and 900 gold. That's like insane amount of for like a 1v1 standard. That's insane, right? So yes, early game dragon is not worth 4 camps. Mid late game, obviously yes. It's about the third dragons and the fourth dragons, and even sometimes the second dragon. Then yeah, you usually at that point you'd happily lose a camp or two to secure an objective. But early game, it's especially when you're playing a champion that's very invadable, and you're playing versus a champion that can invade really well. It's a big thing. If you're playing against a Sejuani, I'd actually say losing your top camps is fine because Sejuani is not a strong 1v1er. Sejuani is not a strong invader, so who cares if you give him your camp? Same with like a Maokai or like a Poppy or any like tank, you know. But in this case, since you're against a Bel'Veth, all these top camps should be gone. Bel'Veth is a very aggressive jungler, and you should not be able to like survive or breathe. You know, that's why it's always safer to just full clear. And then once all 6 of our camps are down, then we'll do a dragon, or then we'll do a grubs. You know, uh, so in this case, you see Bel'Veth gank bot, so you play for grubs. I think it makes sense. She can't be here. It looks good to me. I don't know. It's kind of the same thing as before. This guy is not pushing. This guy is not low. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 camps up. You need to just go do your camps. You're just wasting too much time. What does that time I saw Bill with?
It was on
Yeah.
bot gank.
Yeah, I see it now. I mean, same thing. If I'm Belveth and I got a global notification that you did grubs, that means she knows your stop sign. I would just run to your Wolf's Gromp. That'd be another 4 camps you're losing. You're just playing as bad players. So you're not getting punished. Yep. If there's one thing you should take away is you need to farm way more. This is just not this is not what Morgana is known for. Also, check your goal before you base. Here you're actually 1 or 2 camps from full item. Like before you base, you should always check how much money do you need for item before basing, because here you're 110 gold from item, so you could just do wolves and then base, and you'll have full Blackfire, and then that's like a huge power spike, right? Leaving base with 100 gold from this is really sad. So always check the shop before you base, see how much gold money you need for your item, and then base, right? Because here, if you realize you do wolves, because all that matters is dragons. Dragons are the most important thing in the game, objective wise. So you want to be as strong as possible for this dragon fight. So I would do wolves, then raptors, then base, and then get Blackfire, and then I would just run, and then I would open straight to the dragon, and now we are gonna be as strong as possible for this dragon objective, you know.
And it was a mistake.
By the time by the time we get here, the fight's already over. But okay, this could be when I remember when I said, have you ever had times where fuck you're like, damn, if I was 3 seconds earlier, I would have killed them. If you're 3 seconds earlier, you'd be here right now, you know. Or maybe it doesn't affect it, but you'd maybe be able to save and best up.
That if I would take wolves, I would be in base.
Oh yeah, I mean not in this case, but you got here earlier, no matter. Then you'd be here now. You're still late anyways, so if we're gonna be late anyways, I want to be here stronger. Now you're here later, but then now everything you're doing is more damage, right? Blackfire doesn't just like do a little like 10% more damage. You're like doing 30% because every single one of your W's you're applying the burn. Uh, just more. I mean, at the end of the day, Morgana in jungle is played like a poke champion. Your job is just to run forward, hit a max range W, and then run away, and just burn them to death. That's why personally, when I play Morgana jungle, I don't even go Blackfire first. I just go Liandry's. Yeah, because you realize like, oh shit, I'm close to Blackfire. So you literally came on the map, you did nothing, you killed one camp, then you based anyways. So in that case, then if we no reason to do wolves, but it's fine. You probably just didn't realize. Okay, now we open the map. Our team got a pick, so we pull dragon. Looks good. Team's fighting. We come through black shield. Don't forget the auto. Even though you are a ability based champ, after you use your abilities, there's no point not to throw an auto. Especially when they're this low.
I wanted to get the kill.
Oh really? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I think Morgana's good with kills. Even though Morgana's like it's funny because you're like a support champion. When you play Morgana jungle, she's actually not a support. She's actually like a carry. As funny as that sounds. But I think here you're just overstepping. I'll tell you where. I'll tell you the max range you can W. You can stand right here and throw your pool like this, and then this very tip of the circle will hit them. You see what I mean? So as Morgana, that's why I said it earlier, a minute ago. The way she plays is effectively as a super long range poke champion who plays. Because obviously when you're here, neither of these champs can hit you. You're out of their range, but you can still hit them, and that's where you want to be. It's the same as like a Zyra, right? You want to be able to hit them, they can't hit you, and you're just kind of like a prick. You're like, nah, like you're just annoying people. So here, I think you just back up here, make sure no risk of dying, throw your max range W, and then at this HP, your W plus Imbecile will kill them. So I think there's no reason you have to die here. It's still good in total, obviously. It's 2 for 1, but unnecessary death. You lose Dark Shield stacks. Plus, if you live, then you'd get the red buff afterwards as well.
Yeah, that was just a mechanical misplay.
Yeah, just
Like
overstep.
somehow I could not get rid of them, or this is what I'm looking to improve.
Yeah, I think it sounds there's no magic spell to improve on mechanics besides honestly the thing that works the best, and it sounds funny. It's like just act like a mom nagging a kid to clean his room. like like realize like obviously in these type of reviews you realize what the mistake like what your mistake is, common mistake is. In this case, we could say it's overstepping or not using your max range on your W, right? And then when you're in game, just constantly remind yourself every fucking other second, max range W, max range W, max range W. Same way a mom nags, clean your room, clean your room. It's nagging is the only thing that, from my experience, is working. Like a lot of times I'll go, like I don't know, I have a problem where on Lee Sin I'm missing too many leak queues, and I go into the VOD, and my takeaway is the reason why I'm missing so many leak queues is I'm just insta throwing them. Like I see an enemy champ, I just throw my Q. I'm not actually like waiting to see their movement or waiting to see if they stand next to a wall. So I just like go into the game like, okay, wait, wait, wait. Okay, now they're like standing still. Now I'll throw it. Same. So if you think that you're dying too much from Morgana, you're probably overstepping and not playing max range. So the best fix is just to, if you want, like a quick cast is obviously the best, but if you want for this quiz, you can actually switch to normal cast. Just so when you click W, you have to see the range every time before you press it, and you can make sure to like if this is your max range W, you're standing here. You're not standing here and W like this. Uh, but I know the same. I mean, here I would say this. I mean, guess what I'm gonna say? I have 4 bot camps up: Scuttle, Blue, Gromp, Wolves. There's no rush to start this objective. Like here, I would just full clear down. Instead of opening to my Raptors, what you do, you want to open, when you play jungle pathing, you always want to clear in a nice straight line. That's considered efficient and optimal. So either it would be like this, right? It would be, Gromp, Wolves, Raptors, Red Krugs. Here we can't because our Wolves are still down. Actually, even that Loki, you could do this because what you do is you'd open to Scuttle, and then you do straight line because then by then the Wolves are up because Wolves are up in 30 seconds, right? So you do Scuttle, then you do Gromp, then Wolves, then Raptors or Krugs, and then by the time you finish your full clear, then you'll pull for the Herald. Or option B is you can do straight line like this, which is Krugs, Red, Raptors, Wolves, Gromp, Scuttle, base, and then you open to the Herald. Both options work. Um, this one is technically more optimal because you're ending your clear at the Herald. It's just, but in this case, I think you're just skipping 3 bot camps unnecessarily. And think about it like this.
Harold,
Yeah, but you're clearing I'm saying you're clearing towards it because let's do the math. Killing these 3 camps is the same speed as killing these 3 camps. Agreed? Like camps are all equally killed. So
mhm.
let's say you do Raptors Red Krugs and then you do Raptors Red Krugs and the Herald, or we do Scuttle, Gromp, Wolves, and then we could just skip our 3 top camps and play the Herald. We're gonna be at the Herald at the exact same time, correct? But the difference is now normally let's say we went to Herald and Belva doesn't want to fight it. She wants to trade. Well, now she can go and trade our entire bot side. She could go get Scuttle, Wolves, Gromp. But if we do these 3 camps and then skip our top side to Herald, now she can't trade, and so she can't take any of our camps, and we're defending and we still clear the same amount of camps before the Herald, and we're still at the Herald at the same time. See what I mean? That's why there's no downside to clearing our bot camps because we're gonna be at the Herald at the same time as you are in this game, and we're taking away Belva's trade choice. And in this case, you don't want to start Herald right now because your teammate died. So if you did Scuttle, Gromp, Wolves, you have the option to, if everyone's alive and everyone's healthy, we can skip our top camps insta pull. If someone died, now we can just stall for their respawn and now do 3 more camps, show up to the Herald with a level 10 instead of being level 9, and then we'll be, and then and then we're still there at the same time, but we're just gonna be stronger and we're taking away Belith trade plan. Make sense? There's also
Yep.
no rush to start the Herald. Like, why we don't like dragons make start to like it makes sense to start dragons on spawn because the faster you kill dragon, the faster it respawns, right? But with Herald, the Herald doesn't respawn. So killing Herald right when it spawns or killing Herald a minute after it spawns, there's no difference, right? So, but there is a difference with camps because if we leave the camps up, then they're not going to respawn, and we're just getting less golden XP. Think about I should have put a counter. Think about how many times this game I've told you to skip camps. There was three times before. There was your 2 times before. There's 3 times right now. There's probably another 2 times. I feel like I've been saying it all VODs. That's what 6, 8. Let's say a scuttle 9. 9 camps is 1,000 gold and a level and a half. All those camps, just imaginary world. You're level 11 right now, and you'd have an extra you'd have haunting guys right now. And then I say this because if we imagine in the next fight you go into, I don't know when the next fight is, but okay, this is the next fight. I want you to imagine that you have level 11 for this fight and you have an extra haunting guys, and I want to see if that damage changes the fight. Q? Oh, you can't use the thing. It might. If you have the extra damage, I mean, you also have level 11 ult, which is huge. Instead of kiting right, I think if you kite left here, because you can't hit through the thing, this QW would kill with extra items. Because your ult doesn't. Because keep in mind, especially with the Morgana, the damage is so additive that the dot damage, the burn, the the Blackfire burn and the Blackfire torch burn and the W burn and all the shit just adds up hella, right? It's very additive. Um, but anytime you can guarantee your Q, that's where most of her Morgana's damage comes from. The only reason why we max our W first is for jungle clear and because W is more guaranteed, right? In reality, Q is your highest damage ability. Even now, even with 5 points W and 2 points Q, Q still does more damage. Again, it's just hard to hit. But that's why anytime you ult people, that's the only time Morgana Q is ever guaranteed. So you really always want to put yourself in a position that once people are stunned by your ult or I guess or snared, you want to put yourself in a position where you can land your Q. So I think in this case it would be like kiting downwards to avoid these guys. Um, also, I'd also want to be kiting downwards to play towards our Mbessa because our teammate's right next to us and this guy is just not paying attention. Um, but actually, I don't think you play this fight mechanically bad. I think if I had to say one thing, is a lot of times when you have ult up, Morganas, you almost never throw your Q unless it's guaranteed. Well, when it's guaranteed is when they're either not moving, they're already stunned by our teammate, or they're mid animation. Mid animation. In this case, I would never throw Q because you have ult. I'd rather just. I mean, actually, it's fine. If you want to throw Q, sometimes it's fine. But again, the most common thing is just to R and then W. Another thing is as well, same thing with your W. If you know you're gonna, I think at this point you should kind of realize I'm probably going to ult soon because these guys are literally running at us. So same logic. Your W is your another most of your damage. You can guarantee your entire W if when they're ulted. So in this case, when they're playing like this, I would ult. And right now, when you know your ult's about a snare, you throw your W down right now instead of wasting it here. Now these guys are they're gonna hit by the full duration because they're walking into you and then they're gonna be snared into you, right? Because in this case, you actually don't hit W on this guy at all. I think even without the better items that I wish you had, I think if you just held your Q and W for after this guy got stunned, now you'd QW him and he'd just be dead. You know, this is definitely QW range. Make sense? So TLDR on Morgana fighting is you wait for someone to get stunned. Have it be by your ult, have it be by your teammate stuns, I don't care what, and then you QW. You almost never want to just blind QW. Um, you want to make sure they're guaranteed, and the best way to guarantee them is when they can't move, which is when they're either stunned or snared or knocked up or any form of CC. Make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Also, small note, just to get the point in on the camps. If you had hunting guys here, which you would have had if you didn't skip camps, you wouldn't died because you'd have the extra 300 HP. That's why items are fucking OP, and that's why skipping camps is bad. What happened here? Yeah, just too close. But landing the Q is awesome. From this range, you can just W, and he can't touch you. I'll even go back to when you W him. Watch this. You can even look at it. So you W from here, and you see how there's all this extra space here. So now imagine this circle can be like here. Wait, that's a fucking bad circle. There you go. Somewhat better. So you could throw this from right here. And from here, from this range, he can't Q you. If you stand actually like even right here, then you could still W like this, and then obviously the very edge is still hitting him, and he can't walk out of it because he's rooted, and obviously he cannot hit you. So in this case, Morgana never auto attacks ever. You just want to play max range W range. Okay. Same mistake as before. It's fine. You didn't, but now it's time. If you're gonna keep playing Morgana, you have to keep reminding yourself max range W, max range W, max range W. Okay. This is a beautiful fight. This is probably the best fight you've taken so far. Q into W into ult. You see how when they're snared in your W, they just die? So that's why we always want to hold our W till for when our ult Q hits or when our ult hits. In this case, you Q and then ult in. But if you want to do the most guaranteed way to kill this guy, where he will always die in a million years, is you just E yourself, you walk into him, you ult. Then when he's about to get snared by ult, then you QW him, and he's gonna guarantee eat your full W and eat all your damage. You know, because the Q is a skill shot, your ult's not. You could just run at people with your ult, and they're gonna guarantee get hit. You know, and as long as they're guaranteed stunned, that means we're guaranteeing our Q and W. This is pretty unfortunate. You just missed this Q. If this Q landed, he would have died. You just missed. I'm not gonna yell at you for missing a skill shot. It happens, but pretty unfortunate mistake. Do you think if you had Leon just for this fight though, you'd be fucking insanely strong. Right, nice might. Don't forget to W yourself. You W the Zahin, but again, you're really not useless. Like you're strong itself. This is if watching you play Morgana feels like you're actually like Morgana support, not Morgana jungle. Where you're like, oh, I don't care about myself, I care about my teammates. I think the only time I would ever prioritize my teammates over you is if you have like a super fed like I have a 9-0 Jinx. In that case, sure, spell shield that guy over you. Um, or if you're
I
playing
just thought I already did.
or if you're playing like super safe, that you don't need the shield. That's another case where it's fine. But yeah, I think if you don't get hit by the Bel'Veth W, you'd be safe. That's why. But if you did get hit by the where is it? Because you're dead. Because you
Yeah, actually slow reaction. Yes,
no,
slow reaction.
no, because that you don't have that slow reaction. You actually have faster because you did it in time for the Zahin. You see. You actually see spell immune. He didn't get knocked because he did because you pressed it in time. It's not slow reaction. It's just wrong target selection. You see, because like he didn't get knocked up. So you actually did. It was not a slow reaction. Don't beat yourself up.
Oh, I messed it up.
You just did the wrong guy. Yeah, you did it in time. It was good. I just think that you don't care about yourself too much. I don't know if you know. You probably do, but one way to you don't have to click yourself when you want to shield yourself. When it comes to heals and shields, if you press Alt E, it automatically goes on yourself. So if you don't have the
Yeah.
mouse thing, you can just press Alt E, but it's fine. This still ended up being really good. You got the dragon, you got the kills. This is all really good. Oh, I gotta speed this up. It's already almost at 30 minutes. See, this is a good example for a W. This is how but Morgana W is 90% of the time. If you can't, because then you only want to Q or ult. Oh, sorry, you only want to like yeah, you only want to Q ult when it's guaranteed. In this case, Q ult is not guaranteed because he's not in your ult range, and obviously this guy is just about to run away from your Q. So this is how Morgana plays fights 80% of the time. You just max range W people, especially because you have Red Smite, which slows. This is perfect. Even a single tick of your W, like this guy's still in your W for like 2 seconds, and it did like 300 damage plus it slowed him, so your teammates can run him down. This is how Morgana wants to play 80% of the time. Just boom, max range W. This is perfect. You see this? Do this every time, okay? Or most of the time. The only time you don't want to do that is if you could just guarantee your ult. Mm, that was good. Yeah, I mean, just play too close. That's it. You should never get hit by a cage. You just walked into it. Kind of self-explanatory. Not gonna yell at you for it. Play for Dragon now. This is kind of sad. Obviously, you want to play Dragon. Your team's not listening. This sucks. I think I so you asked me earlier what I do when my team has a play and I have a different one. I think your play is correct. Your team should just come Dragon. Unfortunately, when your team doesn't listen, it's kind of like a game of chicken. Like if they don't if they don't dodge, then you gotta dodge. So in this case, if they don't come, then you gotta come to them. You know, because I think you're correct. I think if I'll put it this way, if you saw all 5 enemies there, then I'd say yeah, fuck you guys. I'm just gonna solo Dragon. But in this case, because you see Yorick bot and you know you can't 1v1 Yorick, means you can't do Dragon by yourself. You have to just group with them, win the 44 with them, and then come do Dragon afterwards. So to reiterate, I think your idea to just do Dragon and ignore mid is correct, but you can't do it yourself. So if your team refuses to come, then you have to go and just group up with them. Make sense? And it
Hmm.
sucks because that's just how solo queue is. I think your play is better. I think we should always do third Dragon over mid tower, but your team doesn't listen because they're bad, and it sucks. So yeah, it's like a game of chicken.
Now they want dragon and I'm pinging them off because we're weaker and can just go and put in their face.
Nice. So this is a perfect fight for you as well. You ult because you don't throw Q or W. See, you don't actually. I guess you had it down because you were using it on the camps. But in this case, let's say imagine you had Q and W up this fight. The way you'd still play this the exact same way. Let's say QW is up, you would not QW here. You would just ult, and then when he gets hit by the snare, then your QW is guaranteed, and your QW will kill him. So this is in this case you're forced to play like this, but this is how you almost always want to play fights as Morgana. Understood?
Mm.
Ult and then QW. That's the only way to guarantee your damage. Nice Q, really good. He had Mikhail's FF. Yeah, that was good. That was really good fight. Farm for item. Once we have item, okay. We got a pick. Nice spell shield. Oh, really close Q.
Here, notice that I'm pinging the bush
Yeah.
and she comes from that bush.
Yes. I would. It's sad. I think. I mean, this is really close. I think I think this Baron is a good idea, and I think you said you didn't want to do it, right? But the Baron's good because two of them are dead, so the Baron's gonna be 3v5. So anytime you have 3v5, you never want to like play to finish the Baron. You want to play to turn on them because the fight's gonna be guaranteed winning, right? Because you just have
Mm.
you have more members. So here, before you start it, I think you have a pink. I think here, like I think you don't need your because again, you're Morgana. You don't need to auto it. You can just throw your W and then leave. So I think what you do here, it's sad, but I think you put through QW. After this point, you're not doing any extra damage. Your 50 damage autos aren't doing anything. You QW, and you have a pink ward, and just go throw pink in the bush. You know, in the banana bush, this bush that you're pinging,
Mhm.
because you're pinging it, but like you're the one that you could throw a ward here. And also, I think this is pretty because again, you're doing what 15 damage autos. You don't need to stand here. You could W and then go ward, and then you could stand in a way where again you don't need to be in this range to W it. You could stand here and be Wing the Baron, right? So you could actually stop more Belveth from entering the pit all by yourself. Because what you're gonna do is you're gonna walk here. From this range, you could W the Baron very easily, and then you're gonna ward this bush. And when you see Belveth coming, you're just gonna run at the Belveth and just alter. And then when she's hit by your ult, then you're gonna Q her. And then when she's snared, you're gonna walk back to the Baron and smite it. You know? I think if you're playing a jungler like Kindred or a champion that doesn't have any CC, it's a different story. But in this case, you have two CCs. They're kind of unavoidable because it's impossible to avoid your ult. And then if you get by their ult, then you're gonna guarantee your Q as well. and you have a ward, so you kind of had all the tools to stop this guy yourself. So maybe it's kind of sad to hear. Uh, but in this case, I actually think that the Baron call was correct, and you're the one that messed up, sadly.
Mm.
And yeah, I mean, you could ask other people here. I blame teammates all the time while doing review. I just think in this case, I think the Baron's actually good, just because you have number advantage, and there's nothing more OP in League than number advantage. Because like your team actually won the fight afterwards. Um, but not but the problem is it's just or is going even in the fight. But obviously you got one shot, so you weren't able to join them. So I don't know. I think this was very winnable. I think you guys can if you don't get one shot,
Mhm.
you get Baron, you ace them, then you get the Dragon, and then you guys are in a pretty winning position. But obviously now that they get Baron, now the game's just over. So I don't know. I think the game is close, but after this now the game's over because they have Baron with Bel'Veth, right? But I don't know.
Yeah, it was
To
from
reiterate, I'd say that full clear way more plays, way more. Like you're skipping way too many
Mhm.
camps. In fights, play max range W. You want to be really far when you're spamming Ws. Um, if you ever have guaranteed ult, never Q or W. Wait for ult them and then QW. That's what the combo is. Uh, and then four, even if you're doing the right play, if your team's not coming, you have to just blindly follow them because it's a team game, sadly. But I do think your play was better at the Dragon, but we're slave to our teammates. And then also, any questions on this VOD?
No, all
Okay,
good.
and I want to show you
Thanks
some
for everything
examples.
the
'Cause
details.
I want to show you some small examples. Because again, I'm actually a Morgana jungle enthusiast. So this is me playing Morgana jungle on my team last year. Um, so I want to show you just some like fighting patterns really fast, so you have an idea of how you're supposed to fight on this champion. So I mean, with Q, I think a lot of times you're just throwing it. A lot of times you could really just. It's kind of like it's every champ with skill shots. Like have you ever seen like an Ezreal, uh, who you're just wiggling, and then while you're just you keep wiggling to dodge their Q, they just walk up and auto attack you to death. It's kind of similar. This guy is well, he's like wiggling. I auto him with red buff. I get red buff slow. I wait for Sign to slow him. I wait for him to wiggle, and then I finally throw my Q. Right. I want to see. I want to show team fights. Team fights are better examples. You can play like super cheesy of them. Q, W, ult. If you CC perfectly, they're CC'd forever. So Q, CC, right when Q's running out, you ult at them. You spell shield yourself so they can't CC you, because in this case, normally Maokai Q bumps you away, Maokai ult snares you, right? And this guy's just see. This is why I say that Morgana is honestly a carry, because like this guy's a full HP. This guy's not support. This is the jungler, full HP tank jungler, and I just 100 to 0 him. He literally got one shot from full HP, right? And I'm not even that strong. I just have what Leandre's. That's why I'm like I always say like you could, if you're also keep in mind my farm at 17 minutes I have 155 farm. Let's check how much farm you had at 17 minutes. At 17 minutes you had 107, right? So you get 50
Mhm.
CS in jungle is around each camp gives 4. So 50 CS in jungle is around what? 12 camps. 12 camps
Mhm.
is 1400 gold and 2 levels. So that's the difference from a it's a full haunting guys, you know? Um so in this game you had one item, but yeah, so you get the idea. That's why farming is so important. Um to another fight. I don't want to show team fights because I want to show you teams how I'm playing max range W. But yeah, this is my max range W, and you're just poking. I'm just throwing W in outer space, and I'm just back. I'm throwing my W, and I just run away. And I just let them burn. And then if they dive into me, I'll leave myself, and I won't be CC'd. If they run away, then I'll start chasing them. You know,
Mhm.
I'm just not like I'm full HP, he's quarter HP, and I'm still running away because I'm just playing like a prick. My W's down, I'm running away. My W's up, I'll walk back and I'll do another max range W. That's how you play. You're just playing like like a fucking rodent and just burning them to death from across the map. Um, this one's not really a team fight. Oh, this is a good example to show how even though they're walking into choke, I tell you right now, all I want to do is throw W. W here sounds so good because like they're stacking on each other. It's a little choke point, but I'm not throwing W. I'm not holding Q. I'm waiting. I'm gonna flash ult in, and then once I flash ult, then I'll QW and it's guaranteed. So even though here QW looks so fucking juicy, I'm still not pressing it. I'm gonna get my ult, Now once I ult, look, I still having QW. You see they're still up. Once the guy's snared, now QW, it's a guaranteed kill, and then I'd rather get the guaranteed kill on the jungler because that's the jungler, and I need to guarantee kill him so they can't smite Baron, right? So you always want to like guarantees. There's no reason to take risks. It's guarantee flash ult into guarantee Q. It's you can't fuck it up. It's impossible, you know. And what? This is not really a kill. This is a bad Q for me. I have some other VODs, but I don't want to take too much time on this. But you get the general idea, right?
Yep.
Yeah. This is funny. I landed a fucking Q in the 6-item late game server, and then we just immediately flashed on her and won the game. Alright, sick.